Welcome to Eternal Elements Learning Podcast, brought to you by Atyasa Online. These podcasts are a part of the audio certificate programs on Atyasa Online. You're free to take these podcasts on your desired portal also, should you only wish to learn on the go. Thank you so much for engaging on these podcasts, and you can connect with the author on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Hi, welcome back. This is Niket Karajagi from Atyasa Online on Eternal Elements podcast, talking about leadership. We talk about leadership of the 21st century. Again, in one of the coaching sessions, I was asked this question. It's all fine about the VUCA world. It's all fine about managing change and innovation. But can you tell us exactly what is the framework, what is the broad framework under which a leader should operate in the 21st century? Now, obviously, they were looking for a very specific answer on this. And interestingly, when I was going through my psychometric certification with Saville, I realized they have come up with an amazing inventory of the different behaviors that leaders need to show. And then what I talked to them about was what I learned in that session. And I said, you know what? The first thing the leader is supposed to do is the leader is supposed to look at the problems and solve the problems, because ultimately the leader has been hired in the organization to solve problems. The manager runs the process, but the leader is supposed to solve the problem. And when you're solving a problem, you're basically looking at the problem, you're understanding the problem, you're getting into the depth of it, you're doing a root cause analysis of the problem, and at the end of it, you're coming up with a solution. The managers can talk about complexities of the problem, or they can do a damn good root cause analysis about the problem, but a solution is supposed to be the responsibility of the leader. And if you're not giving a solution, then you're not acting as a leader. So that is the first thing about solving problems. The second facet is about once you solve the problem, what are you expected to do? You're expected to take the people along. That means you may have authority over people, or you may have to influence without authority. And what do you have to do? You have to communicate with them, you have to build fantastic relationships with them, and you've got to give them the skill sets, you've got to transfer the wisdom so that you're able to convince the people that this particular solution that you have provided, this solution is going to work. And then the next thing, of course, the leader is also supposed to do is he's supposed to constantly adapt to the VUCA world. Which means what? You cannot complain and crib about the constant changes that are happening in your environment, because your environment is bound to shift continuously. It's bound to create new variables. The earlier variables, like I discussed before, will not be there at all. And therefore, I have to be into a perpetual mode of optimism. Leaders, incidentally, operate under perpetual mode of optimism. And while they do that, because of that optimism, they set expectations, which are positive expectations in the minds of people. And while we adopt to these changes around us, we are also expected not only to offer the solution, but the solution has to manifest itself in its reality. What is the point in offering a solution if that solution does not end up in a business result? So what are the leaders doing in the 21st century? They are solving the problems. They are also taking people along. They're influencing people. They are also adapting to the changes that are happening around, because that's what the VUCA world is all about. And finally, they're also ensuring that while they solve the problems, they influence the people, and they adapt to the changes, they also deliver results which are compliant results, which means that I do not get into violation of ethics and principles. Those results will have to be in line with the benefit of all the stakeholders that work in conjunction with the organization. That means we're also suggesting that compliance becomes a part of the natural nature of a leader. And these are the four things that leaders in 21st century are expected to do: solve the problems, influence the people, adapt to the changes around them, and finally deliver the results. Thank you very much. This was the answer for the broad facets in which the leadership of the 21st century operates. And I hope the question stands answered, and I hope you'll be able to practice these 4 back at your workplace also. And thank you very much once again, and I'll see you in the next podcast. This is Niket Karajagi from Atyaso Online for Eternal Elements, talking about the leadership essentials. Signing off. See you in the next podcast.